Oh, man! Come on, man! Come on, man!
Yeah. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Well, Boise State not doing good. Everybody else, I guess, doing okay. Everybody else doing okay. 34-7. Beat down. Absolute. Listen. Boise State might be in a bad way. It's 34-7 against something called South Florida. So, yeah. Dang. Hate to see that. Worser way? All right, who y'all got in the game tonight, Nebraska or Cincinnati? I'm on Nebraska. I think Nebraska's going to win big. I think Nebraska's going to win big. Boise State here has the ball, but I mean, this one's over. It's 34-7 with 3:20 to go in the game. So it's an absolute beatdown here by South Florida over a playoff team from last year, Boise State. A couple of y'all like Cincinnati? Wow. Nebraska should take care of business. Yeah, I think Nebraska will win. South Florida, a top 20 team. I don't know about that. Can East Carolina mount a comeback? No. I almost bet the NC State game. I almost bet NC State minus 14. What's the score? 17-7? Till Valhalla says need Nebraska to cover. Yeah, I bet Nebraska. I bet Nebraska minus 6.5. Duke is struggling against Elon Musk. What's the score of that one? Let's see. Rutgers and Ohio, 34-31. What's going on here? There we go. Don't know what happened there. Fixed it for you. Rutgers only beating Ohio 34-31. 6 minutes to go in that one. Bowling Green up on Lafayette. NC State up over East Carolina. Jacksonville State and Central Florida in a weather delay. What else is interesting? Wyoming up 3-0 over Akron. Missouri 26-0 over Central Arkansas. Almost halftime in that one. Duke tied at 10 with Elon. Dang. What is Manny Diaz doing? Is the ACC down bad? Maybe. Houston is beating Stephen F. Austin by 10. Wisconsin also plays tonight at 9. San Diego State plays at 10. And, of course, the Nebraska-Cincinnati game coming on at 9. Dylan Raiola going to cosplay Pat Mahomes and get shut out in the first half. No, I don't believe so. Gundy should have been fired 7 years ago. We're done with the bullshit. All right, hold on. All right. Let me read these super chats. Hoghead, thank you for the super chat. He says, really enjoyed seeing everyone yesterday. Yeah, big group of us went to Cherokee. Went to the Harrah's up in Cherokee yesterday. We had a really good time. I got back late this afternoon. I'm running a little low on energy. We may or may not have stayed up a little too late last night gambling in the casino. And I may or may not be running low on the energy level today. Cowpoke Ranch, thank you for the super chat. He says, Gundy should have been fired 7 years ago. We're done with the bullshit. Unbelievably embarrassing and humiliating. It's a sick joke. What did they do? What did Oklahoma... I mean... They're winning 17-7 over UT Martin, almost halftime. We'll see how the second half shakes out. But it looks to me like you're done with Gundy. Dylan Raiola going to cosplay Matt Mahomes and get shut out in the first half. My guess would be no on that. I think Nebraska wins big tonight, but we'll see. Mew2, thank you for the super chat. Says, Lou, I'm so lucky I didn't go in on this Boise game. Literally a tap away. Excited about Friday and Saturday's games, though. Yeah, a lot of people were on South Florida in this one. A lot of people liked South Florida in this game. I didn't bet it. Lagway better get the ball out quick. USF will hit, says CH. Yeah, they play next week. Is that right? Florida plays Long Island University this weekend, but I think that's the next week. I think that's Florida's next game, right? It's South Florida. As a Bama fan, I knew Florida State was annoying, but they have been so annoying this week. Cannot imagine what it was like when Georgia played them. Well, they're full of excuses. How did the Palu movement go? Coffee up. You talking about in Cherokee? I don't think any of us won. Lou, what's up with all these YouTube predictions, not knowing when and where the games they are predicting being played? I'm not real sure I'm not sure who you're talking about there. Idaho State, best team in Idaho, confirmed. Damn. Is that true? Under 2 minutes to go. Kickoff for Nebraska, Cincinnati, it says, is going to be at 9:10. So we're about 4 minutes away from kickoff, Nebraska and Cincinnati. This game should end just in time for kickoff of the Nebraska game. Braves are losing 18-4. Damn. Cincinnati has a good offense. Hammer the over, says Justin Anderson. I didn't play the over-under on that one. I just took Nebraska minus 6.5. And for the comments section, we had a poll up, a first half bet. And the comment section took Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half. So those are the two bets on the Nebraska-Cincinnati game. What's up, Eddie? That UJ and Florida State game was bad. It was so bad it made me slap my mama, says Dan White. Yeah, Georgia beat the absolute soul out of them. What was it, 63-3? I'm down bad. It's 3:07 a.m. and I watch Missouri. Could have been watching Boise State. BYU's going to win the national title? No, buddy. Bud. Anybody home in there, bud? Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, last play of the game here for Boise State. An embarrassing loss for them, 34-7. Yeah, I got the points. Yeah, I got plenty of points up there. Lou, I'm here to say I called it. Yes, I was the guy who called it and said USF win. Yeah, a lot of people were on South Florida for this game. Kyle, you are one of the few good Florida State fans, but your team is about to get the shit kicked out of them. Hook 'em, Lou. That's going to be a great game on Saturday, ain't it? That's going to be a great game. Yeah, that's going to be a great game. What about them Cowboys fans? What about them? Some of the Dallas Cowboys? Cowpoke Ranch says, we're done with him. People think he cut his mullet, but that's not true. It was yanked out by every defensive coordinator in the country. I'm about Gundy's mullet at Oak State. All right, we're just a couple of minutes away here from Nebraska and Cincinnati. This is a neutral site game in Kansas City. Here we go here. They're fixing to kick it off now. Looks like Nebraska will be kicking off. So Cincinnati will have the ball first. Cincinnati in all red. Red helmets, red jersey, red pants. Nebraska, white helmet, white jersey, red pants. A lot of red pants on the field right now. Yeah. So Nebraska set to kick off. First game of the season for both of these teams. Big 10 versus Big 12. Nebraska versus Cincinnati. Big 12, one of the new additions to the Big 12 a couple of years ago. Nebraska been in the Big... How long has Nebraska been in the Big 10 now? Almost a decade? Cincinnati fields the kick at the 14. Returned out to the 20. Across the 25. Tackled at the 28. First and 10, Cincinnati on their own 28. Here we go. Boise State, your season is over for all playoff aspirations, says Sharkzilla. Have no fear, the Norwegian is here. Lou, was that you in the Coach Coop diss track? I haven't seen it, so... I mean, unless I don't know it. I mean, I'm not in that video that I know of. Yeah. Nebraska will once again be the Nebraska of the Big Ten. I think Nebraska will be good this year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think this will be their best team in a long time. All right, first and 10 for Cincinnati on their own 28. Game just started. Play action pass. Going deep. Incomplete. They tried to hit a fade down the sideline on the first play of the game. Little underthrown. Falls incomplete. Second and 10 now for Cincinnati. F Nebraska and F Christian Ballard. Damn. What Ballard do? Leave Ballard alone. leave Ballard alone. Octavian, are you in here? Morning, Lou. Let's have a great season. Bad weekend to be a turkey. Cincinnati on the ground. Oh, wow. Put a move on somebody in the hole. Gain of about 12 or 13 yards. First down, Cincinnati. Nebraska's been in the Big Ten for 15 years. It's packed there for real, though, and Octavian was here. Where you at, Octavian? Gundy used to be top gun, now he's bottom gun? All right, first and 10 now for Cincinnati on their own 41. 5 wide this time. Jet sweep. Tripped up after a gain of about 2. Good tackle out on the edge that time. Second long coming up for Cincinnati. Have you watched any of the Missouri game? No, I haven't. I was watching the Boise State game. I didn't watch any of the Missouri game. I don't usually watch those garbage can games against bottom feeding teams. I hope Gundy never retires. Second and 6 for Cincinnati. They're on their own 44. A handoff. Makes a move in the hole. Probably should have been tackled for a loss. Instead turns it into about a 3-yard gain. Third down coming up now for Cincinnati. 13-20 to go in the first quarter. This is the first drive of the game. Michigan cheated. Yeah, they did. Yeah, everybody knows that. Duke tied with 10. Yeah, Duke tied at 10, yeah. Let me fix the scoreboard over here. We get Duke on there. There we go. Cincinnati picked up that first down, but there's a flag on the play. Might be going to get him for holding. Let's see. No, false start on Cincinnati, so that's going to back them up. They're going to have to replay third down. Uncle Lou, your season is over. My season just starting, bud. All right, so instead of a first down, it's going to be 3rd and 9 now for Cincinnati. Shotgun and 4 wide on their own 42. Motion. Snap. Back to throw. Complete. in the backfield, makes the first man miss, but then swarmed by a couple of Nebraska defenders for a loss. And it's going to be 4th and long now for Cincinnati. They'll have to punt it away. Jackpot. Dylan Stewart going to have a field day week 4. DK, what's up, buddy? He says, got my whiskey and cheers to a great college football season. Hook 'em horns. Definitely the game of the week. Texas and Ohio State. I mean, it's probably the game of the year. 1 versus 2 in the coaches poll, 1 versus 3 in the AP, but that really doesn't matter. It's 2 great teams. That's going to be a huge game. That's going to be a huge game. It's been 2 years since Oklahoma scored a touchdown on Texas, 34-3. All right, Patrick Mahomes Jr., the quarterback for Nebraska. The guy wants to be Pat Mahomes so bad he can't stand it. Yeah. Boise gonna lose to UNLV. I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know. The game's at Boise. UNLV didn't look great either. Always good to have a role model, woo. Uncle Lou, you look like you had way too much. Way too much what? Isn't Pat Mahomes already a junior? This is his 2nd year. Ozempic apparently hasn't made it to Lincoln, Nebraska. Husker fans looking husky. Cheers to another degenerate season. What's up, Mike? Raiola is definitely little bro. I mean, I think he's a pretty good quarterback, but I don't like his whole persona outside of football. I don't know. I don't really. It's not great. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. Lou, how was that trip yesterday? Oh, we had a great time. Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time. Got up there about noon or so. We all hung out at the pool for a few hours. And we went and gambled for a little bit. Ate dinner at the Italian restaurant up there. And then gambled some more. Yeah, stayed up a little too late, I think. I don't think any of us won. I know I didn't win. I don't think any of us actually came out ahead on this trip. I think we all lost. I know I did. No, we were in Cherokee, North Carolina, at the Harris. How's the vets doing tonight? I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you mean. Florida 47, South Florida 17, says Octavian. Hey, Octavian. Look what came in today. Or actually, it came in yesterday while I was gone, but I got it today. Hey, Octavian. Are you on drugs, sir? Are you on drugs, sir? Respectfully, of course. Are you on drugs, sir? Shout out to Octavian, the greatest caller in YouTube call-in show history. Now he has his very own shirt. I'm here year-round, but I'm happy to get to hang out in these game streams again. Yeah. I mean, this is why we're all here, for these game streams, or for the season. All right, Nebraska with the ball. They're going to keep it on the ground. Pick up 4 or 5 yards off left tackle. 3rd down coming up now. This is Nebraska's first possession. Cincinnati did get a first down, but then their drive bogged down and they had to punt it away. And now Nebraska has the ball for the first time here. We're in the first quarter. Nebraska looking at a 3rd and about 4. Raiola in a shotgun, 3 wide to the bottom. Snap. Raiola in the pocket. Throws. Pass complete. First down. Oh. Thank God he got up from that. Holy shit. Did you see the way his legs was bending? I had to look away. I can't believe he got up from that. Wow. That did not look good. But he jumped right up. Looks like he's fine. First down, Nebraska on their own 24 now. Raiola in the shotgun. Snap. He's going to hand it off this time. Running back tries to cut it upfield. Not a lot of room. Falls forward for a couple of yards. 2nd down coming up now for Nebraska. Happy to be back. Good luck to the Dogs this year. Let's go PSU. Good to see you in here, Girth Brooks. Yeah, a lot of people high on Penn State this year. Banjo says, why does Ohio State keep stepping on rakes when they're trying to not look soft? They can't help it. It's just human nature for them. Flag down on the play here. Let's see what this is. Referees, of course, have to have a meeting like they always do. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness against Nebraska. An offensive lineman. That's going to back them up 15 yards, put them in a hole here. Yeah, kind of a late hit there. That's going to back Nebraska up to their 13-yard line. 2nd and 21. Raiola under center now. He's going to hand it off. Not a lot of room. Might have gained 3 yards. 3rd and oblivion coming up now for Nebraska. 3rd and about 17. Score prediction for South Carolina, Virginia Tech. I don't generally do score predictions. I do think South Carolina's winning that game, but I don't really do score predictions on games. Yeah, I got it after the game. I thought about taking South Florida, Joe, but I ended up not betting the game at all. Obviously, now I wish I would have. But yeah, I got your message. I appreciate that, buddy. Raiola throws complete, but well short of the first down. He's going to be game tackled around the 24. So on 4th and about 9, Nebraska's going to have to punt it away. No offense yet early in the first quarter here. 9:20 to go. Each team's had the ball once, and each team has punted. What's up, Lou? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah. I'm a little tired today. I'm not gonna lie. I stayed up too late last night and then had to drive home today from Cherokee. But so I'm a little tired. I need to get a good night's sleep tonight too because I'm streaming all day tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I need to. I got to get on the good foot here. Boise State, question mark, top 25, question mark. I think they were in some people's top 25. Yeah, I think they were in some people's top 25, yeah. Octavian going to have a real sad trip to Waffle House after South Florida 40 pieces them next weekend. Yeah, I guess that'll be the thing now. Everybody's going to think South Florida will beat Florida. I don't think South Florida's beating Florida. I don't think that's happening. Boise State looked lost today. They looked really bad. I like Waffle House for the fights. You can spend a week watching Waffle House fight videos on YouTube. Let me, where's the, let's pull this up. Image. Okay. Browsing that. Let's see if I can find this. Can I find this? Is that it? Oh, I got lucky. That is it. I got lucky. All right, let's put this up. Y'all can screenshot it. Paste, duplicate. Yes. All right, hold on. Calm down. Calm down, people. All right, there you go. There's the streaming schedule for the rest of the week. So you can screenshot that or write it down or make a mental note if you need to. That's the streaming schedule for the rest of the week. So what's tomorrow? Friday? 8 o'clock tomorrow. Georgia Tech versus Colorado and Auburn versus Baylor. So we'll stream that one tomorrow night. Saturday, we have the kickoff show at 9 a.m. Of course, do that every Saturday morning during the season. And then the Patreon stream on Saturday will be at noon. Ohio State versus Texas, Tennessee versus Syracuse are two of the big noon games we'll be watching over on Patreon Saturday at noon. The YouTube stream on Saturday will be at 7:30. LSU and Clemson Saturday night. That'll be a great game. Great game. Who y'all got in that one? Who do y'all like in the LSU-Clemson game? I took Clemson home team. I probably would have took LSU if it was at LSU. That's a tough one there, but I did take Clemson. I did take Clemson to win. Sunday at 3 o'clock on YouTube, Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Sunday night back on Patreon for Notre Dame versus Miami, and we'll wrap it up Monday night right here on YouTube with TCU versus North Carolina. So screenshot that, and you'll and all your questions will be answered. Yeah. Facts. Facts. Big facts. Yeah, the comment section pretty split on that one, but I mean I'm not surprised. I think it's going to be a close game, Clemson and LSU. All right, 2nd and 9 for Cincinnati. They're on their own 36 now. They're going to hand it off. Uh-oh, has room, gets to the sideline, turns it upfield, first down, shoved out of bounds after a gain of about 15. Good looking play that time for Cincinnati. Biggest play of the day for them so far. Moves the sticks, puts them up close to midfield. Clemson going to skull drag the Purple Tigers, says Hufferbilly Paw. I'd take Clemson by a field goal, says Cal Languages. Cal Languages, I guess that is. On the ground again for Cincinnati, and another big hole right up the middle, this time for 9 yards. I mean, they made that look easy. Nebraska getting shoved around in the trenches here by the Cincinnati offensive line. Not a good look here early for Nebraska along the lines of scrimmage. Better tighten up. Better tighten up. Play action pass this time on 2nd and 1 is complete all the way down to the 35. Gain of about 10. Another first down for Cincinnati. They're getting close to the red zone. They're in field goal range now. There's just too much damn red. Yeah, both teams wearing red pants is a strange decision, to say the least. I think the Taters beat the Brain Kellys. First and 10, shotgun for Cincinnati. Play action in the pocket, good protection, complete underneath to the tight end, I believe that is. Gain of about 5 or 6, though, before he got tackled out of bounds. 2nd and 4 coming up now for Cincinnati. Nebraska looks lost defensively. They look lost. No pressure on the quarterback. Big holes in the run game. Cincinnati making it look easy right now on their second possession of the game. No score, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. This is Cincinnati's second possession. They punted the first time. Nebraska had the ball once and went 3 and out. Shotgun, snap, handoff right up the gut. Nebraska was ready that time. Met him right in the hole. Gang tackled by 3 or 4 defenders there. No gain. 3rd down coming up now for Cincinnati. Let's see if Nebraska can make a stop here on 3rd down and force a field goal attempt. Oklahoma State deserves to go 0-12 after the TikTok shit they did. I didn't see that. I bet Florida State fires the coach after the Bama game. I bet they don't. I bet they don't. They can't afford it. Cincinnati's going to have to take a timeout here. They can't get the play called in time. 3rd and 4. You don't want to take a delay of game there. So they use a timeout with 5:34 to go in the first quarter. They'll be looking at a 3rd and 4. I really want Nebraska to get back on track before long, says Rasta Man. There are a lot of people high on them this year. I think I have them at 8-4. I've got them at 8-4 or 9-3. I can't remember. It's either 8-4 or 9-3, which would be their best season in a decade. I want Texas to get back on track, says David Portnoy. Dave Portnoy troll account now. Lou, what did you think of USF blowing out Boise? Yeah, that was a bad look for Boise State. Losing is one thing, but they didn't even really look competitive in that game. Lou, can you fix Gamecock Orbit? What do you mean, can I fix him? You don't have to be a retard to be a troll, but it helps, says Sam. I'm already looking forward to your season is over for this week. Yeah, it'd be a good one. Well, anytime you have really great games, it makes your season is over video great, right? When you have 2 good teams playing, one of them has to lose, and it's fun to laugh at. You know, it doesn't matter who loses, Texas or Ohio State. Either one is funny. You know, same thing with Miami and Notre Dame, LSU, Clemson, Florida State and Bama. Lou, will Auburn be on the Your Season is Over list Sunday? No, because they won't have played. When do they play? When is that Auburn Baylor game? Or is that Friday? Yeah, that's right. They play Friday. They play Friday, don't they? Yeah, they play Friday. I'm probably picking Auburn in that one. I'm probably gonna pick Auburn in that one. All right, here comes Cincinnati after that timeout. 3rd and 4 on their own, or on the Nebraska 30. Snap, play action, penalties, false start. Wow, that is a bad penalty to take coming out of a timeout there. Instead of 3rd and 4, now they're going to be looking at a 3rd and 9. Bad penalty there. That's a bad penalty. It's going to be 3rd and 9 now instead of 3rd and 4. And they're backed up to the 35 now. They need to get to the 25 for a first down. Soarsby in a shotgun waiting for the snap. 4 wide. Back to throw. Steps up in the pocket under pressure. Wants to run. Can't get away. He's going to be tackled about 2, maybe 3 yards short of the first down. 4th and about 2. Let's see what they do here. Kick a field goal, or do they decide to go for it? It looks like they're going to kick the field goal. I can't stand Baylor. Come on, War Eagle. What do they have to lose? Their program is in disarray. Who? Here comes a field goal attempt for Cincinnati. A 45-yarder from the middle of the field. Kick is up. And it's good. 3-0. Cincinnati takes the early lead here with 4:47 to go in the first quarter. Cincinnati 3, Nebraska 0. What type of t-shirt is that? Hope it's not an elephant. My t-shirt? No, this is a, what is it? Onward Reserve? Yeah. It's not an elephant. I saw Octavian wearing a FSU jersey today. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. I hope Cincinnati wins this game because I really don't like Josh Pate. I don't think anything's going to happen to Josh Pate no matter who wins or loses this game. No, I don't smoke weed, no. I hope Florida goes 3-9. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Florida will win 7 or 8 games. I've got them at 7-5. It'd be funny if they went 3-9. There's Taylor Swift. She at the game? Oh, yeah, there she is. Didn't they just get engaged, too? Here's the kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. This will be Nebraska's second possession. First possession didn't go well. 3 and out for Nebraska the first time they had the ball. We'll see what they can do this time. There goes Kelsey's career. This show is borderline unwatchable. It's my favorite channel. Octavian wouldn't wear a FSU shirt even if he was on drugs, sir. All right, 1st and 10 for Nebraska. Let's see if they can get something going here. 3 and out on our first possession. They're down 3-0. Cincinnati on top. 4:47 to go in the first quarter. Raiola in a shotgun. Snap. Gonna hand it off. Has a hole up the middle. Gain of about 11 or 12 yards on first down. Best play of the day for Nebraska. Back off Octavian. He's a damn good drug dealer. I don't think Octavian's a drug dealer. I think Octavian gets a bad rap. I think y'all need to stop mistreating Octavian. 1st and 10 for Nebraska now. Raiola throws, complete. Short little hook route. Picks up about 6 yards. 2nd down coming up now for Nebraska. .345 to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 3 for Nebraska. They're down 3-0. Cincinnati on top. Handoff this time, trying to get to the edge. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose a couple of yards on 2nd and 3. That's going to make it 3rd and about 5 now for Nebraska. Everybody on that side of the field forgot to block that time. That was not good. That was not good. I went to the weekend concert last week at Mercedes-Benz. It was amazing. Yeah, he puts on a good show. Pass complete for Nebraska on 3rd and 5. First down across the 50 into Cincinnati territory to the 48. 1st and 10 Nebraska. They keep the drive alive. A Marshall player out here talking shit this week. Did you see that? Almost wanted to pat him on their little head and tell them it's going to be okay. Another handoff for Nebraska right up the gut. Picks up about 6 yards. Nebraska getting some push on the line of scrimmage now. Belichick is fascinating in college football, but he aggravates me, so I hope TCU dog walks North Carolina. That's a tough game to figure out, man, because I don't really know how you game plan for North Carolina. I don't think they're going to be very good, but TCU's in a tough spot having to play them first. Raiola wants to run, can't. Caught from behind and tackled at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now for Nebraska. Another 3rd down. Does Randy Moss have any eligibility left? No. A minute 30 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Cincinnati on top. Nebraska looking at a 3rd and 5 here from the Cincinnati 44-yard line. Raiola wants to throw, gets rid of it, caught on a slant, 1st down inside the 35, down to the 33. Another 3rd down conversion for Nebraska, keeps the drive alive, 1st and 10 Cornhuskers. Thoughts on UNC this year? I don't think they're going to be very good. I don't think they're going to be very good. First and 10, Nebraska. Raiola, handoff. Running back dancing around in the backfield. Nowhere to go that time. Was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up now for Nebraska. Billy Napier just circled South Florida on the schedule. Poverty. I think Florida will beat South Florida. What if North Carolina has a new walk-on quarterback, Bomb Trady? Second and 9 for Nebraska. They're going to say he gained a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9. Shotgun for Raiola. Play action. Throws. Incomplete. Receiver ran an in route. Raiola threw an out route. Miscommunication in that. Pass falls incomplete. 3rd and 9 now for Nebraska. Can they convert another 3rd down? They've converted 2 already on this drive. What were some of your favorite years watching college football? All of them. All of them. Four seconds. So this will be the last play of the first quarter here. Raiola shotgun back to throw. Gets rid of it. Got nailed, too, as he threw. Pass flutters incomplete. That's the end of the first quarter. Cincinnati 3, Nebraska 0. Nebraska looks bad. This don't look good. Nebraska's supposed to be a lot better than this. That's what I was told. Aren't they making the playoffs this year? Nebraska shut out in the first quarter. They do have the ball, but it's going to be 4th and 9 when we start the second quarter, so they're likely going to be attempting a long field goal to try to tie it up. What was everyone's first college game you went to? Lou is announcing the games that happens 5 seconds before I see it on my TV. Ruins the experience. Get somebody to show you how to pause this YouTube live that you're watching. YouTube has a pause function. Get somebody to show you how that works and pause me for 5 seconds and then press play. Problem solved. Or type and complain about it in the comments the rest of the night. Those are the only 2 options. Something tells me Baylor beats Auburn. If Baylor beats Auburn, Hugh Freeze is in a world of shit. If Auburn loses to Baylor, Hugh Freeze might just better stay in Waco. Is Florida in trouble versus South Florida? I don't think so, no. No. I was bearish on Nebraska before. Now I'm being proven right. Yeah, Nebraska's losing to Cincinnati 3-0 at the end of the first quarter in their first game of the year. So if you thought, so yeah, that proves you right. Yeah. My first game was UGA versus Vandy in 2013. The Skycast has grown on me. No announcers. Can't you just delay your reactions 5 seconds instead? Yeah. UJ should have won that game, but a classic Rick meltdown. Which one are you talking about? Lou, do you have a UAB helmet? Yeah. Wyoming and Akron score is 3-0 in the fourth quarter. Hey everyone, Boise just sucks. That's it, simply. Josh Pate has Nebraska as a playoff team. This ain't looking good for his prediction. How'd you do in Cherokee, Lou? I had fun. I had fun. I had a good time. That's how I did. I was playing roulette at $1,000 a spin. That'll make you feel alive. Josh Pate had Nebraska in the playoffs. Yeah, he did. And Florida. And Boise State. He had Boise State, Florida, and Nebraska. The field goal is up and just sneaks it in the upright. And we're all tied up at 3 with 14:56 to go in the second quarter. I thought max bet was 300. Not in the high limit room. We were playing on a single zero table in the high limit room. Hey Lou, had my bachelor party last weekend in Biloxi. Ran it up from 300 to 3,000 in Texas Hold'em. Lost it all at the blackjack table though. I did good on. I won $1,000 playing blackjack. In for 5, out for 15. Nebraska. Woo. Thank you, Ballard. My bets are looking good, says Tyler. Ohio plus 14.5, ECU plus 17.5, Buffalo plus 20.5, and South Florida money line. Might miss on Nebraska minus 2.5, but we will see. How'd you get Nebraska minus 2.5? The first half line was 3.5. The full game line was 6.5 or 7. Put that kicker in at QB. Nebraska kicked it out of bounds. Sure am happy to be back, says John Foster. It's good to have you back, buddy. I don't understand these dummy kickers that kick it out of bounds on the kickoff. I mean, the fucking field is 53 yards wide. What are you doing? So Cincinnati's going to start all the way up on the 35-yard line. Handoff on first down. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Good open field tackle that time. Stopped it for no gain. 2nd and 10 now for Cincinnati. Matt Rule looks like he does coke. What? Does he? Isn't he overweight? Wouldn't it be hilarious if Florida did lose to South? Oh, yeah. Of course it would. Yeah, of course it would. Yeah, the internet would break. 2nd and 10. Play action pass for Cincinnati this time. Steps up, going deep down the middle on a post. Overthrows the wide receiver, incomplete. Threw into double coverage on a deep post. Receiver had a step, but the ball was overthrown. 3rd and 10 coming up now for Cincinnati. Matt Rule sold me fentanyl behind the Arby's in Lincoln, says Cade Gainey. Why are y'all messing with Matt Rule, man? What'd he do? Matt Rule. 3rd and 10 for Cincinnati now. Back to throw. Pressure. Scrambles to the right. Throws underneath. Caught, but well short of the first down. Needed 10, only gained about 4 or 5. 4th down, and Cincinnati will have to kick it away with 14 minutes to go in the second quarter. Bruce Pearl is UGA's daddy? Who is Bruce Pearl? I don't even know who that is. Matt Rule sold me powdered sugar. What? What's with the Matt Rule slander? Does Notre Dame really have 11 national championships? Punt fielded at the 15. Not much of a return at all. Probably should have fair caught that one, but anyway. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Nebraska at their own 15. We're all tied at 3. 13 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first half. Matt Rule told me to subscribe to LouTube. Auburn and Alabama are the only 2 Power 4 programs to have 2 undefeated seasons in the 21st century. Rule next Auburn coach if he keeps up with this freeze BS. Airstrike, thank you for the super chat. He says, did you see that on a podcast? Hudson Mason said Georgia is more likely to go 8-4 this season. Just give Gurley the ball. Go Dogs. I think there's a chance Georgia goes 8-4, but it would be disastrous. I haven't seen too many people picking them to go 8-4. 9-3 is about the worst serious prediction you see for Georgia. Duke might lose to Elon. That'd be real bad for Manny Diaz if that happens. That's going to be a bad loss. That's going to be a bad loss if that happens. Let's check the score. Duke and Elon. 24-17, Duke up with 14 minutes to go in the game. Missouri all over Central Arkansas, 40-0. Oklahoma State 20-7 over UT Martin. NC State 24-14 over East Carolina. 10 minutes to go in that one. Did Marshall beat Notre Dame? I think, was that 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, they did. Hype and hate video tomorrow? No. No. Yeah, Northern Illinois was last year. They lost to Northern Illinois last year, Notre Dame did. Is Mizzou ever going to play anybody with a pulse in week 1? I don't know, but they play Kansas next week. And Kansas is the best team I've seen play so far this year. Kansas is legit. So Missouri better be ready for that one next week. All right, Nebraska with the ball, 1st and 10. 13-27 to go in the half. Raiola back to throw, underneath, complete. Hits the check down for a gain of about 4, the tight end. 2nd down coming up now for Nebraska. Missouri started real slow against Central Arkansas. Missouri is overrated. 2nd down now. 5 to go. Raiola shotgun. Hands it off this time. Running back finds a crease, falls forward. Going to be about half a yard short. 3rd and 1 coming up now for Nebraska. Thundering herd, more like thundering yard turd. Glad to be back. The Marshall thundering yard turds. Marshall's going to be bad this year. They got like 60 new players. They lost their coach. Their coach left at the end of last year to take the job at Southern Miss. Raiola with a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1 picks up the 1st down. Marshall's coach left at the end of last year to take the job at Southern Miss, and that whole team hit the portal. So that new coach they got in there, he had to bring in like 50 guys from the. Marshall was a decent team last year. They 10-3, I think they went. I think they're going to be bad this year. Georgia cannot beat Lagway. Georgia is 1-0 against Lagway. Marshall lost pretty much everyone. Yeah, they did. Second and 8. Nebraska on their own 29-yard line. Raiola all by himself in a shotgun. Gets rid of it behind the receiver, but caught. Great catch by the wide receiver. Not a good throw. If he'd have hit him in stride, he might still be running. But it is a 1st down. All the way out across the 40 at the 42. 1st and 10, Nebraska. Yeah, Lagway was 2 for 6 for like 40 yards against Georgia. Whoa. Long pass down the sideline. Caught. Big play for Nebraska. Gets them down in the red zone. Biggest play of the day for Nebraska. Down inside the 35. 1st and 10, Nebraska. At the 33. 34. 1st and 10, Nebraska at the Cincinnati 34. All tied at 3. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Raiola hands it off. Has a hole. Up the middle. Picks up about 7. Nebraska's been having success with that quick running play up the middle. They did it again there. 2nd and 4 coming up now for Nebraska. Any bets tonight, Lou? Well, we did a poll, and the comment section took Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half, and I have a bet on Nebraska minus 6.5. So those are the 2 bets. Nebraska minus 6.5 for the whole game, minus 3.5 for the first half. Nebraska on the ground again on 2nd and 4. Looked like they're going to be about half a yard short. 3rd and a yard. They had this a minute ago and they ran that Dylan Raiola quarterback sneak. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and 1 in the red zone. Third and 1, under 9 minutes to go now in the first half. Still tied at 3. Raiola under center. He's going to hand it off this time. And they pick up the first down and then some. Inside the 20, inside the 15. Pushes the pile all the way down to the 12 or 13 yard line. 1st and 10, Nebraska now. And they're threatening. Duke might lose to Elon, and they was one of the better teams in the ACC last year. Handoff on 1st and 10 goes almost nowhere. 2nd and long coming up now for Nebraska. 8:15 to go in the first half. Lou, have you seen my super chat? LOL. Let me get caught up on super chats. When Georgia come back from said we will win it home for Sir Bucko. Are you okay, Vols 22? What in the fuck kind of broken fucking English is that? What in the world? What does that even mean, bud? When Georgia come back from said we will win it home for Sir Bucko. Are you okay, Balls 22? Trying to read that gave AIDS to my autism, dude. Yeah, Bryce, I read your super chat about the Marshall player a while ago. Wisconsin QB is already hurt. Damn, that's terrible because their starting quarterback got hurt early in the year last year. But it was in the Alabama game, I think. I'm not watching the Wisconsin game, so I don't know what happened. So I'm taking your word for it. But, I mean, obviously it's bad when anybody gets hurt. But for Wisconsin to lose their starting quarterback first game of the year 2 years in a row was pretty bad. All right, 3rd and 6 now for Nebraska. We're all tied at 3. 7.5 minutes to go until halftime. 3rd and 6. Nebraska's on the Cincinnati 9. 4 wide. Raiola in a shotgun. Snap. Raiola throws complete. And the tight end's going to be ridden down at the 1 yard line, but it's going to be a first down. He almost carried the Cincinnati player into the end zone. Finally able to get him down around the 1 yard. Gave him a piggyback ride from about the 5 to the 1 yard line, though. Watch this. Look at that piggyback ride. Finally goes down at the 1. It's going to be 1st and goal for Nebraska now at the 1-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. First and goal for Nebraska. 3 running backs, Raiola under center, and a false start. Wow. Wow. What a bad penalty to take there. Instead of 1st and goal from the 1, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 6 now. Wow. Bad time to have that happen. Let's see if they can still find a way to get it in. 1st and goal from the 6 now after the false start penalty. Raiola's in a shotgun now. 2 wide. Snap. Handoff. Inside the 5 to the 4. Gain of 2. It's going to be 2nd and goal now from the 4. I can't be more clear. Georgia not for make him say go 10 will bucko. Okay, so you are retarded. Okay. Appreciate you clearing that up. Shotgun and 3 wide this time on 2nd and goal from the 4. Raiola play action into the end zone, overthrown, incomplete. Receiver didn't have a chance. That one was thrown out of bounds. 3rd and goal now from the 4. Bad penalty if they don't score here. That's going to suck for a lot of reasons if Nebraska has to settle for a field goal here. We're on Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half. If they have to settle for a field goal here, that's only going to give them a 3-point lead. And it'll be their own damn fault for having a false start penalty when they had 1st and goal on the 1 because they're fucking morons. They might be dumber than this Vols 22 idiot in the comments section. Raiola back to throw. All day in the pocket, but nowhere to go. Scrambling around, gets rid of it. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. 4th and goal. Gotta have touchdowns. When you have 1st and goal on the 1, you got to be scoring touchdowns, especially when you got people like me that have bets on the first half at minus 3.5. Field goal is good. Nebraska takes the lead 6-3, but 3 is less than 3.5. Yeah, 3 is less than 3.5. If Wisconsin has a bad year, do you think Fickell will be fired? I think he should. I mean, he has driven Wisconsin into the ground. Thank you, Vols 22. Raiola looks fat. He is a little pudgy, isn't he? He has family connections to Nebraska. Raiola does. That's the most comprehensive thing Baltard has ever said. Scooby says, did you get diamond, gold, platinum status in North Carolina? Well, I've been had. I'm Diamond Elite. I don't know what you're asking there, but I'm Diamond Elite. If that's what you're asking. Is Cincinnati a better program than Wisconsin? No. No. Lou, you know nothing about football. Yeah, I've never even seen a game, but Lou, DGen gambler confirmed. Wish I had the funds to feed my degeneracy. I don't bet big money on these football games. I mean, I'm betting usually $25 a game. I just do it for entertainment. Still a commercial break in the game. Royce says, damn IG Genty equals Boise State. Uh, yeah. We need Nebraska to get the ball back and score before halftime. Lou, how I get my money if I win our bet? Like win seriously. What's the bet? I mean, if it's a bet on a game, you get it when the game is played. You've made bets before, hadn't you? If Ashton was still on Boise, he would have had at least 500 touchdowns. What in the world is wrong with y'all? There's nothing more. I try to read the comments, but some of y'all can't put English words together in a readable sentence to save your life. It's unbelievable. ECU is driving. Another commercial in the game for no reason. Eating 3 large pizzas is almost enough. You can eat 3 large pizzas yourself? I don't think I don't think that's a good idea. I eat 2 slices and get full. You know what's wrong with me? I do know what's wrong with you. Yeah. I do know what's wrong with you. Lou, let's make a bet. On what? How was Cherokee was great. Sir UJ, I was betting $1,000 a spin on the roulette table in the high limit room. If that tells you how it was. I'm not even reading that. I am a huge degenerate. I don't even deny it. I don't. I'm almost proud of it. Lou, are you getting that free plane ride? Yes. Classic college football. Matt Rule got Scooby addicted to gambling. How's the bookie? I have no idea. I don't. I don't hardly ever talk to him. I have no idea how he is. In fact, I've never talked to him. Now that I think about it, I've never spoke to him ever. All right, game is back on now. 5:36 to go in the first half. Nebraska has kicked 2 field goals. Cincinnati's kicked 1. 6-3 your score. Cincinnati with the ball on their own 25. 1st and 10. Pistol formation this time for the Bearcats. Snap. Handoff. Nowhere to go. Drag down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up now for Cincinnati. Have to say I love the helmets. Love how the helmets love this season. 2nd and 9. Play action. Looks left. Now scrambling. Throws to the running back out of the backfield. Incomplete. Running back dropped it on the ground. 3rd and 9 coming up now for Cincinnati. 5:05 to go. We need Nebraska to force a 3 and out here. We need Nebraska to make a stop on this 3rd down so they can get the ball back and score again before halftime. That's what we need. We need Nebraska to score again before halftime. So we need a stop here on this 3rd down. 3rd and 9. It's going to be empty backfield for Cincinnati. 5 wide. Sorsby in a shotgun. Snap, back to throw. Looks right this time. Throws deep. Has a man. Dropped it. I mean, he was wide open. What's the flag? What's the flag? False start on Cincinnati. I wish they could just decline it. You can't decline a false start, can you? Yeah, you can't decline it. I wish they could just decline it and it'd be 4th down. All right, 3rd and 14 now after that false start penalty. All right, come on, Nebraska. We need a stop here. We need a stop. Four wide this time. Sorsby in a shotgun. Snap. Looks left. Pump fake. Running for his life. Has to throw it away. Nowhere to go. Great coverage downfield by Nebraska. 4th and 14. Cincinnati's going to be punting it away with 4:59 to go. So Nebraska's got time here with 4:59 to go to score again before halftime and cover that 3.5 point spread and get us paid. ECU has 4th and 1 inside the red zone. Here comes the punt. Fair catch. Made at the 40. Nebraska's going to have great field position here on their own 40. Even a field goal would do it, but we need points on this drive here by Nebraska. What's up, fools? Tucci, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I think I read something this morning that said Fox and YouTube TV worked something out so the it won't interrupt the games or whatever. All right, 1st and 10 for Nebraska. Motion, snap. Raiola hands it off. Has room. Across midfield to the 47. Gain of 12. 1st down, Nebraska. 4:40 to go now in the first half. We need points on this drive to win the first half bet. Nebraska pass complete this time on 1st down. Gain of about 8, maybe 9. 2nd and short coming up for Nebraska. 4 minutes to go till halftime. What channel? Yeah, the game's on ESPN. Second and 1, 4 minutes to go. 6-3 the score. Nebraska up. They've got the ball and they're driving. We've got Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half. So we need some points here for Nebraska to close out the half to win the first half bet. Raiola in a shotgun. Snap. Handoff right up the gut. Not much room this time. Drives forward for 2 or 3 yards. That's about it. 2nd and 7 coming up now for Nebraska. Where's the dog? She must be in the living room. First and 10, Nebraska on the 35. 3 minutes to go now. Raiola under center. Hands it off. Nowhere to go. Running back was met in the hole. Drop. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now. 2:50 and the clock is ticking. We at least need a field goal here. 3 straight runs. I don't want a turnover. I'll tell you that. A field goal is fine. We've got Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half, so we just need even a field goal would be okay. 2nd and 10 from the 35. 5 wide this time. Raiola in a shotgun all by himself. Sends the running back out wide. Back to throw. Looking, rolling right. Pointing, throwing. Was that caught? No, incomplete. Dive and catch on the sideline, incomplete. .208 to go. 3rd and 10 coming up for Nebraska. You're on Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half. Well, we need some points, man. We need some points. The all-new ESPN app works 100% of the time, 30% of the time. All right, 3rd and 10. Raiola back to throw. Under pressure. Running. Hit from behind and fucking fumbled the goddamn ball. You fucking deadbeated, stupid-ass motherfucker. He got the ball back. So I guess we're going to see a really long field goal here. It's going to be like 4th and 12. Boy, Raiola, that ball bounced right back to him. Did you see that? How lucky. Look at this ball bounce right back to him. Boy, he got lucky there. That should have been a turnover. Nebraska dodged one there. What's my opinion on Bryce Underwood? Well, I've never seen him play, but I think he'll be good. Yeah, very lucky bounce there. Should have been a turnover. Definitely should have been a turnover. Texas 27, Ohio State 17. Will Nebraska be poverty for the foreseeable future? I mean, I think they're going to be a pretty good team this year. I think they'll win 8 or 9 games. NC State false start in victory formation. All right, I guess we're going to see a long field goal attempt here from Nebraska. It's 4th and about 11 when they come back from this commercial break after that Dylan Raiola fumble. World's longest commercial break. These commercials are out of control. That fumble was 5 minutes ago. These commercial breaks are completely out of control. Completely out of control. Will any upsets happen tomorrow? I mean, if there's more than 4 or 5 games, then chances are there's going to be an upset. Still a commercial. We're still on a commercial break. This is insanity. These commercial breaks are ridiculous. All right, 4th and 12. They're going to go for it. Or just try to draw somebody off sides. They're going to take a delay of game and punt the ball. Fuck Nebraska. Nebraska's dead to me. Nebraska's dead to me. Fuck Nebraska. I hope they go 0-12. Fuck them. Absolute dog shit state, dog shit school, dog shit team, dog shit coach, dog shit quarterback, dog shit play calling, dog shit performance, dog shit uniforms, dog shit neutral site. Paylou just took a hit. Yeah, that was the comment section bet. That's y'all. Y'all did that. I put the poll up. Y'all vote. Y'all voted Nebraska -3.5 in the first half. So y'all lost again. Y'all are down bad. Y'all are down real bad. I'm going to start betting on the opposite of whatever y'all vote for. That's what I'm going to do. I'll keep doing the polls at the beginning of all the game streams, but whatever y'all vote for, I'm going to bet the opposite. 1:54 to go. Cincinnati's going to keep it with the QB. Gets upfield for about 8 or 9 yards. 2nd and 1 coming up now for Cincinnati. 1:40 to go in the first half. Back to throw. Pump fake. He's trying to set up a screen. Catches it, but dropped for a loss of about 4. 3rd down coming up now. Nebraska should call a timeout. Nebraska's mentally retarded. Why aren't they calling a timeout? Nebraska should have called a timeout. Now they did. All right, they did call a timeout. 3rd and 5, 1:23 to go. Nebraska with a chance to get the ball back if they can hold Cincinnati on this 3rd down. All right, here we go. 3rd and 5 for Cincinnati. They're on their own 14. A minute 23 to go in the first half. Nebraska 6, Cincinnati 3. Shotgun. Quarterback keeps. And he's going to be a half a yard short, it looks like to me. That ain't no first down. That was a bad spot. That was a bad spot. Gave him the first down, though. Back to throw on first down. Pass complete. Fumble. Get the ball. The Pay-Lou movement is alive and well, I believe. How about that shit? Oh, they called it incomplete? Let's see. That's a catch. Hell, he took 3 or 4 steps. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. What do y'all think? Catch or incomplete pass? It's close. I think they called it an incomplete pass. Well, we can't catch a break. We get a bad spot on that 3rd down, and now they rule that catch an incomplete pass. Looks like they're going to review it. Take another look at it. There's a minute and 2 seconds to go in the first half. This would be huge. That looks like a catch to me. That looks like a catch to me. He caught it, took 2 or 3 steps, tucked it up underneath his arm. That's a catch. That should be a catch. I think that should be a catch. Scooby, thank you for the super chat. I think that's a catch and a fumble. Yeah, I think that's a catch and a fumble. See what they say. I guess they're still looking at it. It should take forever. It should take forever. All right, here we go. They overturned it. Nebraska ball. Might have a pay-loose situation. The trolls might be down bad instead of me. I don't know. Shout out to the comment section, I guess. Looks like the comment section might get one right here. I don't know. Let's not underestimate Nebraska's ability to fuck this up a second time. They could still do that. Let's not underestimate Nebraska's ability to fuck this up a second time. They could definitely still do that. They're in field goal range right now. But don't underestimate their ability to fuck things up or miss the field goal when the time comes. But it's going to be 1st and 10 with a minute and 3 seconds on the clock. Nebraska's got 1 timeout. Rayola shotgun. 3 wide to the bottom of the screen. Ball on the 24. Snap. Rayola back to throw. Looking. Nowhere to go. Steps up. Now gets rid of it. Caught. Stays on his feet. Out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 9. 1st and goal at the 9. You had pizza for dinner? Me too. Me too. All right, Raiola in a shotgun now. 3 wide, 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. First and goal from the 9. Handoff. Inside the 5 or down at the 5. It's going to be second and goal now from the 5. Let's not forget, Nebraska had first and goal from the 1-yard line not that long ago and couldn't score. So, again, don't underestimate Nebraska's ability to fuck this up here at the end. But we need some kind of points here. Any points will do to cover that first half spread. We've got Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half. Motion. Snap. Raiola into the end zone. Bobbled. Caught. Touchdown, Nebraska. They're probably going to look at that too because he was bobbling that ball. But they did call it a touchdown. But it looked like he was bobbling that ball. So did he catch it before he stepped out of bounds? They'll look at it and see. But it's been ruled a touchdown. I trust Nebraska in the red zone about as much as gas station sushi. Yeah, you ought not be eating no gas station sushi. That sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds like a terrible idea. Now they're going to review this touchdown now. They're reviewing that touchdown now. Boy, that is close. Does his right toe come down at the end? Right there. Boy, that is close. That right toe comes down, but does he have control of the ball? See that right toe? Right toe. Boy, that's close. The right toe definitely comes down in bounds, but does he have possession of the ball when that happens? It's close. They're probably going to leave it the way it was called on the field. Not enough evidence to overturn. At least I hope that's what they do. But that is really close. That is really close. Wisconsin's going to lose to Miami of Ohio. Boy, if they lose that game, they might just go ahead and fire Fickle now. Touchdown, good guys. Thank you for the super chat, Scooby. Lou does sit-ups faster than these officials review these calls. Man, I had to give up on the sit-ups, man. I'm too old for that shit anymore. I had to give them sit-ups up. I can't do that shit no more. Every time I try to do sit-ups, I end up with a pulled muscle in my back somewhere the next day. Pay Lou never in doubt. Buddy, the Pay Lou gambling thing is always in doubt. I've been gambling on football games since I was 8 years old, man. This shit is always in doubt. (13-3) is your score. 11 seconds to go in the first half. I don't bet that much money on these games because I bet a lot of games. It's entertainment to me. It makes the games more fun to watch if I bet on them. So I can't bet a lot of money on the games or else I'd go broke. So I don't bet that much money on these games. What's the score for the Missouri game? 61-0. I'm shocked how bad Luke Fickell has fallen off as a head coach. Yeah, he was good at Cincinnati, but boy, he got to Wisconsin and the guy don't know what the fuck he's doing. He turned a team that was winning 10 games a year in their sleep into a team that can't win more than 7 games a year. I can't afford any bets thanks to the economy. Definitely don't gamble. You know, any money you spend on gambling needs to be extra money because you're likely to lose. I look at gambling, it's no different than going to the movies. You know, it's entertainment, and you got to pay for entertainment. Sometimes you get lucky and win, but if you gamble long enough, you're gonna come out a loser in the long run. Well, I can't put Wisconsin on your season is over if they win, but if they don't look good, I can talk about that, but I can't put them on the your season is over deal if they win. All right, your halftime score: Nebraska 13, Cincinnati 3. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go refill my water bottle. I'll be back in just a minute. I'll be back in just a minute. Come on. Come on, no, you blinky. They were asking they said, where's Burgle? I said, I don't know. Come on. That big on your blinky. There you go. There you go. You can watch the game. We can watch the second half. Let me see if you have Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I'm going to do a Your Season is Over video on Sunday, and then a shorter, smaller kind of version of that on Tuesday for the Sunday and Monday games. The top 25 will come out on Tuesday, too. Normally, I update my top 25 on Monday. But it'll be Tuesday this week because there's a game on Monday. Actually, the Monday game doesn't affect the top 25. Neither one of those teams are in my top 25. Well, TCU, is TCU in my top 25? I'll just wait till two. I usually wait till Tuesday of week 1 to update the top 25, so that's what we'll do again. Run out of room? Yeah, it may be. Georgia Tech game tomorrow. That's the streaming schedule for the rest of week 1. Luke Fickell is a disaster for Wisconsin. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Am I going to rank USF? Probably not, but I mean, it depends what else happens in all the rest of the games. Rayola's played okay. Nothing great. Neither offense really has played all that great. Can the Barn beat Baylor? And they better. Or Hugh Freeze might as well just stay in Waco. If they lose that game to Baylor, Hugh Freeze might as well just stay out there. Is Wisconsin the worst team in the Power 4? Probably not. Probably not. Missouri beating the soul out of Central Arkansas. Houston's winning. I don't know. Maybe Minnesota's the worst team in the Power 4. They're winning 13-10 against Buffalo. Wisconsin's winning 3-0 against Miami of Ohio. Maybe Rutgers is the worst team. They only beat Ohio by 3. Maybe NC State's the worst team. They only beat East Carolina by 7. Boy, y'all was bullshitting about that Duke game. Duke won 45-17. Oklahoma State won 27-7. Y'all were making it up about y'all talking about Duke was losing. Hey, what's up, Sam? Yeah, Duke scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. It was close. It was close going into the fourth quarter. Auburn's got the talent, but they could go 5-7 or 8-4. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, or it sounds obvious to say, but I think that's going to depend a lot on Jackson Arnold. But they do have talent. Auburn does. Jolis, thank you for the super chat. He says, my theory is Raiola wants to get drafted to the Chiefs just to slowly become Mahomes after he retires. He does look just like him. Probably not a morning show tomorrow. No, probably not. I've got I've got 2 videos to do, and I've got a call with. I've got a phone call thing I have to do in the afternoon. That's going to take a while. Lou, I'm glad I found your channel last few months. It's truly a great channel. I'll always stick around from here. I appreciate that, Eddie. We talk a lot of trash around here, and, that's not for everybody. So some people, they watch a little bit of what we do, and then if it's not their thing or whatever. But it's just trash talk. I mean, it is what it is, but we have a lot of fun on this channel, though. Lou, I need a solid bet for tomorrow. Man, honestly, there's no such thing as a solid bet. I'll tell you what I like. I like Auburn minus 2.5. I like Auburn and Georgia Tech both to win. I like Auburn and Georgia Tech. If I had to do one of them, I'd probably take Auburn. But I haven't bet on either of those. The only bet I've had so far is this Nebraska game that we're watching. I haven't bet on any of the other games yet. Don't sleep on Marshall. They beat Notre Dame that one time. Well, that was 2 years ago and has nothing to do with this year's Marshall team. I have a new coaching staff and all new players. So one doesn't really have anything to do with the other. I think you're kidding anyway. If Georgia struggles with Marshall, they got problems. Marshall's not going to be very good. They turned there and they brought about 60 new players in. They lost their entire team and coaching staff from last year. If Georgia struggles with Marshall, or if Georgia has some of the same issues against Marshall that they had last year, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Yeah, I agree. I think Baylor does have a better quarterback than Auburn, but I think Auburn has a better everything else. Particularly both lines of Auburn should have a massive advantage on both lines of scrimmage, I think. Thank you for the super chat, Scooby. Uncle Lou has a call with Josh Payton. No, it's a sponsorship thing. I don't think NC State's going to be very good. No, I'm off the NC State train after. They got hyped up again last year, and they don't ever do anything. Yeah, Auburn's got good wide receivers, but do they have somebody that can get them the ball? We don't know. Jackson Arnold was terrible last year. That's why he got benched multiple times. He's awful. That doesn't mean he'll be awful this year. People get better. But it's hard to be all that confident in that until we see it from Jackson Arnold. Looking at Nebraska's schedule, they could be a surprise team in the Big Ten. They have a schedule similar to what Indiana had last year. I don't think they're getting in the playoffs. I know there's some people that do, and have them at 10-2. I've got them at 8-4 or 9-3. I do think this is going to be the best year they've had in a long time. But I don't think I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. Uncle Lou going to be starting quarterback at Georgia? I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Oklahoma? I've got Oklahoma at 9-3. I don't think they're going to the playoffs, but I think they're going to have a good year. You will see Penn State in January if you watch the playoffs. Do you think Florida will deliver belt to ass versus Long Island State? Yes. Florida will beat the shit out of Long Island State, and the Florida fans will be all over the internet saying, see, we told you. Like that proves anything. Would I do a podcast with Josh Pate? It's not that I wouldn't do it, but I don't tell anybody no if they ask, which he's not going to, but I'm not, nobody tells me what to do or what to say or what not to say. So I'm not his cup of tea. But whenever anybody asks me to be on their show or their podcast or whatever it is, I say, yeah, but you're going to get the same me that you see on my channel. I'm not showing up and there's a whole list of rules of things you can say or can't say and all. I don't do that. Did Josh Pate block me? I don't think so. Lou, will you come to my performance review at my job tomorrow? I don't have time, buddy. I don't have time. I'd be happy to call your boss, but I'm not coming there, no. I don't have time. Wisconsin is down bad. Yeah, they're still losing 3-0. Is that game's on TV, isn't it? Big Ten Network? I'll turn it on one of the other TVs. Do a lot of podcast things like that, like all scripted, kind of. Well, it's not that they're necessarily script. Well, you obviously watch me, right? So you know the things I say, the words I use. You probably watch some other people where you don't hear that, so they're not going to have me on there. You know? The only person really that's been able to sort of get away with doing and saying whatever they want and still being accepted like in the mainstream sports media is Pat McAfee. With ESPN hired him, but let him keep doing what he was doing before, where normally that kind of thing wouldn't be allowed on ESPN. All right, let's see. Where's this Wisconsin game on the Big Ten Network? All right. I got the Wisconsin game on one of the other TVs. So we'll see if they lose. I don't know if Jack Fromm is on an NFL roster. I don't. If he is, it's probably practice squad. But I honestly don't know because I don't really keep up with the NFL enough to know. Someone put 550K on Texas. No, Missouri's not making the playoffs. No. Yeah, I saw the thing with Rampage Jackson's kid. All right, Miami's got the ball. They're down 3-0. Wisconsin's beating Miami University 3-0 with 9:45 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 9 for Miami. I took Texas, but I don't think I'm going to bet on that game because either team could win that thing. It's hard to pick against Ohio State at home, but I went with Texas because Ohio State's got too much new for me to go with them in the first game against a top 5 team. 2 new coordinators, new quarterback, 2 new running backs. How bad is Florida going to lose to Long Island? They're not. Florida's going to beat the soul out of Long Island and then brag about it on Twitter. First and 10 for Miami. They're on their own 32. Tried to run the ball, didn't work. Lost yards. You're taking Baylor over Auburn? I mean, people are expecting it to be a close game. The line's only about 2 or 2.5 points. I'm taking Auburn. Florida will beat Long Island 75-0 and say they're going to win the Natty. They'll do like, Tennessee does this. Teams like that, they go out, they beat these teams 60-0. They think it means something. It doesn't mean anything. All right, second half back on. Nebraska with the ball first in the third quarter. Dylan Raiola pass complete over the middle, hit right away, gain of about 4. I hope Baylor beats the soul out of Auburn. I bet you, you're an Alabama fan, Pastor Dave. You have to think that. You have to want that. It's the law in Alabama. Second and 6 for Nebraska. A swing pass to the wide receiver in the flat picks up about 5. It's going to be 3rd and less than a yard now for Nebraska at the 34. Notre Dame money line. I picked Notre Dame in that one. Auburn has a lot to lose in that game, mainly their coach and players. Nebraska picks up the first down. First drive of the second half here. Nebraska up 13-3. I believe Baylor's going to win the Big 12. Big 12's wide open. Kansas State, Iowa State, Arizona State, Texas Tech, BYU. Almost anybody could win it. Raiola in a shotgun. 10-point lead for Nebraska. Handoff. Nowhere to go on that one's going to be dropped for a loss of about 2 yards. 2nd and long coming up now for Nebraska. Raiola back to throw on 2nd and 12. Over the middle, caught on a deep crossing route up near midfield. First down, Nebraska. That was a good-looking throw there. Lost one game in the Heupel era against Georgia. Well, he's lost every game he's played against Georgia. First and 10, near midfield for Nebraska. They're going to hand it off this time. Nowhere to go again. Might have gained a yard. That's about it. No, I have YouTube TV. Second and 9, Raiola wants to throw. Pass complete on a curl route. Good for about 6. It's going to be third down now for Nebraska. Across midfield inside the 45. Does Nebraska make the playoffs this year? I don't have Nebraska in the playoffs, no. I think they could win 8 or 9 games, but I don't have them in the playoffs. I haven't heard that about Hulu Live, but I've never had Hulu Live, so I don't really keep up with it, but I haven't heard that. I'd be surprised if that's true. YouTube TV and Hulu Live are the two biggest live TV streaming platforms. Heupel 1-6 against UGA. Heupel's hasn't played. What are you talking about? Heupel hasn't been there 7 years, and he's winless against UGA. So I don't. That comment just makes no sense at all. That Heupel is 1-6 against UGA. Raiola back to throw on 4th down. Oh boy, nearly intercepted. Turnover on downs by Nebraska, though. Dangerous throw. Not good there by Raiola. Bad decision. Probably a bad play call, honestly, on 4th and 2. YouTube TV is amazing. I love the split screen. Yeah, split screen's great for, most scenarios where you're in a room with one TV. I mean, it's rare that you go somewhere and there's multiple TVs, but if you've got the one TV, that YouTube split screen is great. I use it in the living room sometimes when I'm not streaming in here. But usually, even when I'm not streaming, I'm in here watching the games because I can put 6 games on. I got 6 TVs in here. But there are times that I'll go in the living room for one reason or another to watch games, and I'll do the split screen in there through YouTube TV. Is that it, Lou? What? I still feel Nebraska will win by 14. I've got Nebraska minus 6.5. Raiola is a freshman. No, he's not. Raiola is not a freshman. That's fake news. Nebraska has a shore to win the Nart. I hope Texas takes it to the Buckeyes. Boise State took an ass. Yeah, they did. Well, I don't know if their playoff chances are over, but that doesn't look like a team that's going to win enough games to to make the playoffs. I mean, they could still win their conference and end up being the highest ranked group of 5 team, and that would get them in, but the team I saw today is not winning their conference unless they get a lot better quick. But they play Notre Dame, by the way, in like 3 or 4 weeks. Boise State does. Good luck with that, Boise State. Vols winning the Natty. In what sport? Because you're not talking about football. UNLV looked better than Boise. Well, UNLV looked bad too, and UNLV played a worse team. But it is just week 1. I mean, you have to remember, we do this every year. We overreact to what we see early in the year. I mean, sometimes teams have a bad day for whatever reason and get it turned around. Sometimes week 1 is a sign that a team's going to be dog. I mean, you take Florida State last year. They lost to Georgia Tech. They ended up being really, really bad. But sometimes they just have a bad day or something, get it turned around. But UNLV and Boise State both looked bad in their first games, for sure. Cincinnati on 1st and 10 completes a pass for about 5 or 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd down now for Cincinnati. Yeah, Wisconsin driving. It's going to be 1st and goal for Wisconsin at the 2-yard line, 3-yard line. They're up 3-0 over Miami University, 4:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. They've yet to score a touchdown in that game, either team. Sorsby scrambling all over the place for Cincinnati, now wants to take off running and picks up the 1st down before ducking out of bounds. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. What's the over-under on Texas A&M being a service academy? I don't know how you would put an over-under on that, but they're just not a service academy. Cincinnati on the ground. Nice-looking play. Picks up 8 yards. Cincinnati driving inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. 2nd and short coming up now for Cincinnati. Why would you ask me if Jackpot is streaming when you could just go to his channel and see if he's streaming? I have no idea if he's streaming or not. Tennessee might win 5 of the next 10 natties, honestly. What? All right, 3rd and 2 for Cincinnati. They're down 10. If they score here, they could make it a game. Of course, I'd rather they didn't score. I've got Nebraska minus 6.5. Pass complete. No, he dropped it. Wow, he would have had a 1st down for sure, and he dropped it. Now it's going to be 4th and 2. Let's see what they do. They're probably going to have to go for it here. UCF struggling with Jack State. Are they? Yeah. Georgia going to sign him if he keeps dropping passes? Yeah. Fourth and 2, they run an option and pick it up. The quarterback keeps and gained 3 yards. Needed 2, got 3. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. UCF has every bit of a say when it comes to unclaimed and claimed titles. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. They keep it on the ground with a running back this time. Finds a crease. Picks up about 4 yards. 2nd down for Cincinnati. Good-looking drive here for Cincinnati. Three to 3 in the 3rd, UCF and Jack State. I think Arch Manning will be good, yeah. I think it's impossible for him to live up to all the hype, but I think he'll be good. I mean, unless Texas goes 16-0 and he wins the Heisman, there's going to be people that say, "See, he wasn't as good as people said." Like some of the hype is a little out of control, but I do think he's going to be good. Yeah. Does Arch declare for the draft after this year? Well, don't you think that's going to depend a lot on how he does this year? If he's terrible, I doubt he declares for the draft. If he's really good and projected as the overall number 1 pick, then he probably will, but I don't have any idea. Who is this year's SMU or Indiana? I don't think there is one this year. Does Gunnar Stockton live up to that? What hype? All I hear about Gunnar Stockton is that he's going to be terrible. I don't see any Gunnar Stockton hype at all. He's not listed on anybody's list of top quarterbacks. I haven't seen any Gunnar Stockton hype. How do you feel about the new fake injury rule? I like it. I mean, trying to do something is better than not doing anything at all. I've only seen it called one time so far, so I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched every play of every game, but I've seen it called once. I hope they never have to call it because teams just stop doing it, is what I hope happens. Tennessee isn't losing 5 games this year. I've got them at 8-4. Any chance of Tennessee play berths at all? Play berths? Will Nebraska win by 6.5? I hope so. I bet Nebraska minus 6.5. Miami of Ohio with the ball. Wisconsin finally scored a touchdown, so they're up 10-0 now. The first touchdown of the game scored with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wisconsin 10, Miami University 0. They've got the ball. They just fumbled, but I think they recovered it. I think Miami of Ohio was able to recover it. Any chance of a Tennessee playoff berth, Lou? No, not this year. In my opinion, no. Is Lagway going to play Saturday? So as far as I know, he's starting. Unless he gets hurt checking the mail tomorrow. 2nd and 6. Cincinnati keeps it on the ground and picks up another first down. Nebraska better tighten up here. All you do is give bad college football takes. Yeah, like last year when I picked Tennessee to go 10-2 and make the playoffs. That was a horrible take. A reverse for Cincinnati, and they got a lot of room. 20, 15, 10. Out of bounds at the 7. 1st and goal, Cincinnati. If Arnold is actually good, does Auburn have any chance to sneak into the playoffs? I don't think so, no. I could see a way Auburn gets to 8-4, but even that is going to involve them beating somebody like Georgia or Bama. To get to 8-4 is going to take a couple of big upsets, but I guess they could get to 8-4. That looks like a touchdown for Cincinnati, and it is. Got ourselves a game. Am I wrong for taking Nebraska minus 6.5? I don't think so. I took Nebraska minus 6.5. I hope you're right, because that means I'll win too. We had Nebraska minus 3.5 in the first half, and we hit that by a miracle. That was a wild last 2 minutes of that first half, but we got lucky and hit that first half bet at minus 3.5. I've got the full game at minus 6.5. What does Mike Norvell have to do to get off your list? Not have 3 losing seasons in 5 years. Mike Norvell works at Florida State because Florida State can't afford the buyout. That's the only reason he still has a job there. There is not a year in my life where Florida State would would watch a coach go 2-10 in his 5th year and then bring him back for a 6th year. That's only happening now because Florida State can't afford the buyout. I don't do Super Bowl picks or any NFL picks for that matter. Well, I've got them at 8-4, but that's with a win over Georgia. I've got Auburn at 8-4, and that includes a win over Georgia. I don't see a way they get to 9 wins. Wisconsin has the ball back. They're up 10-0 now. Looking at a 3rd and 2 on their own 44. Quarterback draw is going to pick up the first down up to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Wisconsin. Quarterback limping a little bit after that run. FSU might be lucky to be bowl eligible after this season. I think they'll get bowl eligible, but I don't think they'll be much beyond that. 7 or 8 wins maybe at the most for FSU. I don't like Castellanos as a quarterback. They did bring some talented players in through the portal, but they brought talented players into the portal last year too and went 2-10. So it's hard to have a lot of confidence in Mike Norvell's philosophy right now. Sleeping on Auburn and Florida is a mistake. What does it mean to be sleeping on them? So if I don't think Auburn and Florida are making the playoffs, that means I'm sleeping on them? Well, then I'm hibernating, buddy, because I don't think either one of those teams is getting anywhere near the playoffs. Contracts over 5 years for new head coaches is one of the dumbest things I've witnessed. It used to not matter that much because these schools were swimming in money, but now they got to pay $20 million a year to the players. That's $20 million less they have every year to go towards coaching buyouts. Mike Norvell equals a poverty Deion Sanders. That's bad. If you're a bad version of Deion Sanders, that is bad. That is real bad. Woo is just a sleepy guy, I guess. I am sleepy today. I'm not going to lie. I ran myself ragged yesterday. I overdid it big time. I think this is the first time I've ever sat down during a game stream. I'm interested to see how the reigning SEC champs, Notre Dame Irish, do on Sunday defending the title. Notre Dame's not the SEC champs, bud. Notre Dame's never won a conference title. They're winless all time in conference title games. In fact, Notre Dame's been blown out in every conference title game they ever played in. And they haven't won anything since the 80s. What's my worst record prediction of all time? Probably whatever I had Florida State at last year. That's probably everybody's worst record prediction of all. I think I had Florida State at 8-4 or 9-3. And they went 2-10. That's probably everybody's worst prediction ever. I don't remember what I predicted for LSU in 2019. I can't remember. Dylan Raiola tries to complete a pass, but the running back dropped it. Literally hit him right in the hands. 13-10 the score. Nebraska up 3. 6:44 to go in the third quarter. Jolish just gave away 5 channel memberships to 5 lucky people. Thank you, Joe. Nebraska will win 5 games at best. I'll take that bet. Nebraska keeps it on the ground on 2nd and 10, and they pick up about 16 or 17 yards before he's shoved out of bounds. Big play from Nebraska on the ground there. New set of downs, 1st and 10, Nebraska. Lou, do you think Stockton is going to do well with the new Georgia? Yeah, I think Stockton will be fine. Lou, I think you need to make a prediction video on Manning alone. Why? Why would I do that? What would I be predicting? UGA success depends on line of scrimmage. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good or bad Gunnar Stockton is if the offensive line doesn't play better than it did last year. 2nd and 6 for Nebraska. They keep it on the ground again. Trying to bounce to the outside. Can't get there. Tackled for no gain. 3rd down coming up for Nebraska. 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 13-10. Cornhuskers up 3. Tired already, Lou. Week 1 just started. I went out of town yesterday and overdid it, so I'm paying for it today. Left Augusta at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. 8 o'clock. Left Augusta at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Got to Harris in Cherokee at noon and stayed up till 4 in the morning. And then had to get up this morning and drive back. And I'm paying for that now. Georgia wins 38-14 over Florida. I don't usually do score predictions 8 weeks in advance, but I doubt it. I think it'll be closer than that. Yeah, Cherokee is nice. I like it up there. How do you think Beck does? I think Beck will have a good year as long as his elbow is healthy. As long as his elbow's fine. Am I streaming tomorrow? Yes. There's the stream schedule for the rest of the week. Who's going to have the best record in the regular season? I've got Bama at 11-1. I've got Penn State at 11-1. I think those are the only 2 teams I have at 11-1. What part of the hotel did we stay at? I stayed in the Mountain Tower. I stayed in the Mountain Tower. Who will be the first program to go undefeated with the new playoff system? I mean, I'm never going to pick anybody to go undefeated, or well, rarely. It's going to be hard to do. What's up, Rocky Top? I'm good, bud. 3rd and 5 for Cincinnati. Quarterback tries to scramble, can't. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's going to be 4th and 5 for Cincinnati. And they're going to have to punt it away from inside their own 20. Sounds like you never saw your room. We got there at 12, and I checked in at 12, dropped the luggage off in the room, and I was at the pool by 12:15. Stayed at the pool till about 2:30. Went back up to the room, changed clothes, went down to the casino at about 3, and didn't go back up to my room until 4 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, I didn't hardly see the room at all. I did not play the Buffalo machine, no. I hate that thing. Yeah, me, Pigskin Pete, and Dula stayed in the casino till 4 in the morning. Everybody else had already went upstairs or went to bed or whatever. Me, Pete, and Dula stayed down there till 4 in the morning. We were out of control. I should have went up to my room at midnight, is what I should have done. Nebraska on the ground, big gain, tripped up, or it would have been even bigger. It's going to be a first down for Nebraska up near midfield. I did play Baccarat. Me and Pete both played Baccarat with Chinese people. Yes, I'm talking, didn't speak any English. Yep, we sure did. Played just long enough to piss them all off, and then we left. Why didn't Rec Talk go? I have no idea. No clue. Maybe I had to work or what. I don't know. He's not a big gambler. Rayola pass complete for next to nothing, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up for Nebraska. Player, banker. I just bet on whatever the Chinese, when I play Baccarat, I bet on whatever the Chinese person bets on. That's it. I wait on the Chinese person to bet, and I just bet whatever they bet. Do I ever play poker? Yeah. In blackjack, do you hit on a 2-3 versus a 12-13? Here's how, if you have a 12, you hit against a 2. You don't hit against a 3. $12 hits against a 2. It does not hit against a 3. Does Korean count? No, they have to be actual Chinese people for Baccarat. Your season is over videos always come out sometime late Sunday afternoon. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Nebraska 13, Cincinnati 10. Nebraska's got the ball and they're driving. We've got Nebraska minus 6.5, so we need them to go down and score here. I haven't bet on any of tomorrow's games yet, no. Why does everyone want to play Georgia early in the season now? I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know anything about everybody wanting to play Georgia early. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you going to do what you did with week zeros? Your season is over. Last year, split them into two. Yeah, there'll be one on Sunday and then a smaller one on Tuesday. I think this game is a bad sign for Nebraska. I thought Nebraska would look better than this. And maybe they will get better as the season goes along, but I thought they would, honestly, I thought they would win this game by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Is it just me, or has Nebraska been really unimpressive? Yeah, I haven't been impressed with Nebraska. Auburn moved Georgia game up, and Tennessee did too. Auburn and Tennessee didn't move the game. You can't move a conference game. The league office schedules the conference. The league office makes the conference schedule. Auburn doesn't make their conference schedule. Tennessee doesn't make their conference schedule. You could do a your season has just begun about teams with wins. No. Everybody else on the planet does videos about teams that win. I'm not. That's the opposite of what I do. What did you do before doing YouTube full time? I was in the cell phone business for 15 years. Hugh Freeze was in the cell phone business too. Well, yeah, in a different way, yeah. Wisconsin's still up 10-0. They've got the ball on their own 31-yard line. Back to throw on 3rd and 5. Incomplete pass, but they're going to get Miami for pass interference here, so that'll be an automatic first down for Wisconsin. How much more expensive is the world now versus 15 years ago? Well, some things are more and some things are less. TVs are less. So some things are less, some things are more. We know Lou got 2 phones. I actually do have 2 phones. Will the things that make me mad video make a comeback? Maybe. That stuff like that I usually would do in the off season. The only time I've ever rented my house out for the Masters was my parents when I was a kid. That's it. One time. Third and 4 coming up for Nebraska. We need them to pick up this first down. We need them to score. No, you'll never get Braves or baseball content from me. You wouldn't want it. I don't watch it or know anything about it. 3rd and 4. They're on the Cincinnati 35. Raiola in a shotgun, 4 wide, back to throw. Looking over the middle. Throws, complete. First down, Nebraska. Keeps the drive alive. Lou, are you going to do crypto videos? I already do those. It's on my 3rd channel. I lost a 15-leg parlay. You should have just lit your money on fire before you ever did a 15-leg parlay. Would have saved you all the anxiety. 1st and 10. Raiola under center this time. 2 wide. Snap. Play action. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Caught by the running back and dropped immediately for a loss of a yard on the play. Yeah, I was born in Augusta, yeah. Wisconsin with a pass into the end zone, incomplete. Does Diego Poverty irritate me? No. Pass complete to the tight end. Rumbles down the sideline for a first down. Nebraska's in business now in the red zone. Willpower? You got to have willpower, man. Lou picks UJ to beat Bama. No, I didn't. I have Georgia at 10-2 with losses to Auburn and Alabama. Who's the best head coach in college football? Kirby. It's not even really a debate. Second and 5 coming up for Nebraska. 11:50 to go in the game. Handoff, nowhere to go. Fumble, but it went out of bounds. Nebraska avoids disaster there. They're inside the 5-yard line. They need to score, but they almost gave the damn ball away. Fumbled it, but it went out of bounds. Player hurt, too, hobbled off the sideline. Ooh, yep, that's a knee. That was a knee. That didn't look good. Didn't look good. 3rd and 4 for Nebraska now. From the 5-yard line. They can actually get a first down without scoring. Whistles before the play. Nebraska, I believe, called a timeout. Matt Rule's losing his mind on the sideline about something. Yeah, Fox and YouTube reached a deal, so we're not going to lose the channel for week 1. Yeah, you're so retarded you don't even know what you're typing. I meant this, I meant that. Wisconsin still up 10-0 over Miami University with 8:29 to go in the game. Miami's got the ball on their own 10-yard line, 1st and 10. They haven't been able to do anything on offense. Wisconsin's done barely more than a little bit. Whatever happened to Edward the Trash Talker, I have no idea. No idea. I haven't seen or heard from him in a long time. I took Wisconsin under 39.5. Why didn't we hire Kirby in 2013? Who, Auburn? Wisconsin with an interception. Pick six. No, out of bounds at the 1 yard line, though. It's going to be first and goal, Wisconsin at the 1 after an interception. It's a commercial on the Nebraska game. Nebraska took a timeout. Yeah, Wisconsin's defense is their best offense. It's their only offense, really. This Wisconsin offense is bad, man. Real bad. I can't believe Dane Key isn't tearing it up at Nebraska. Yeah, I liked Fickle, but he's been a flop at Wisconsin. First and goal for Wisconsin. Handoff. And they're going to be just short. Second and goal coming up now from the 1 yard line. All right, come on, Nebraska. We got a score here. I have Nebraska minus 6.5. I need a touchdown, not a field goal. Third and 4 from the 5 yard line. They hand it off. Go nowhere. What are you doing? Give up play. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. You call a timeout to run that play? I don't understand that at all. Fourth and 2 now. They're going to go for it. They need to get to the 1 yard line for a first down. Fourth and 2 from just inside the 4. Shotgun, too wide to the bottom. Motion. Pass. Touchdown. It was a RPO. Raiola took it away from the running back, hit a wide receiver on a quick slant over the middle. Touchdown, Nebraska. Oh, what's up, Joshua? Good evening in that. What happened to Boise? I don't know if you might not have watched the game. They looked bad. I mean, credit to South Florida, but Boise State looked bad. I took minus 8.5 Nebraska just right now. I hope it holds. I hope it holds too. DeBoer didn't lose to Vandy in his first year, and Saban didn't lose to Vandy in his first year. Both of those coaches had been coaches for years when they lost to Vandy. Kirby's the only one of those people that you named that lost to Vandy their first year as a head coach. Saban had been a coach for a long time when he lost to Vandy. DeBoer's been a coach for a long time. Head coach. How was the casino? We had a great time. Yeah, we had a great time. I love it up there. It's always fun to go with a group of people. That wasn't Nick Saban's first year as a head coach. Kirby lost to Vandy his first year as a head coach. Saban lost to Vandy like his 10th or whatever year as a head coach. DeBoer lost to Vandy as his third year as a Power 4 head coach. How do you gamble for hours? After 30 minutes, I'm up and want to leave. Well, you're not nearly enough of a degenerate then, like I am. You're smarter than me. You get up and leave. I don't. If we lose to Baylor, I want Freeze out of here. No more excuses. If they lose that game to Baylor, Hugh Freeze might as well stay in Waco, Texas, because he ain't going to be welcome back in Auburn if they lose. I don't think they are. I picked Auburn to win, but if they somehow lose that game tomorrow to Baylor, it's going to get real bad for Hugh Freeze. Wisconsin did end up scoring, so they're up 17-0 now. 6:40 to go in that game. Yeah, these commercials are ridiculously long. We were talking about that earlier in the first half. I mean, these commercials are out of control. Yeah, money. They got to pay all these huge TV contracts they signed with these conferences. Yeah, I agree. Kansas is still the best team I've seen so far. Super Lou. Thank you, Matt Reacts, for the super chat. I'm sorry, I missed that. Was that 5 minutes ago? Thank you, Matt. No, I didn't watch the Missouri game. Nobody watched the Missouri game. They played Central Arkansas and won 100-0. No one watched it. No one's watching Missouri until the Kansas game. All right, 20-10. Nebraska is up over Cincinnati. 10:36 to go in the game. We need Nebraska to hold on. Yeah, I'm not saying Kansas is the best team in all of football, but they're the best team I've seen play so far. But we're just now starting week one. I don't expect Kansas to be the best team after Saturday. But as far as the teams I've seen play so far, Kansas has been the most impressive to me. What's UCF doing? They were losing. Are they still losing? They were losing to Jacksonville State. Let's see. They're tied with Jacksonville State with 1 minute and 19 seconds to go in the game. They've got the ball on the Jacksonville State 49. It's 1st and 10. So they can win it with a field goal. Uh-oh. Big play from Cincinnati there, all the way down to the 26 or 27 or 26 yard line. Huge play. Cincinnati's down in the red zone. All right, come on, defense. Handoff this time. Has a hole. There he goes, right up the middle, inside the 20, down to the 17. First and 10, Cincinnati. Nebraska defense getting gashed here these last two plays. The final will be 23-17. I hope not. That's a 6-point win. I've got 6.5. Second and 6 for Cincinnati, just inside the 15. Shotgun, 4 wide, back to throw. Under pressure, but gets rid of it. Into the end zone, has a man. Good defense, incomplete. Knocked away at the last minute. Looked like it was going to be a touchdown. Receiver was open. Defender made up some ground at the end and knocked it away at the last minute. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 6 coming up now for Cincinnati. Third and 6, 8:28 to go in the game, 20-10, Nebraska on top, but Cincinnati's in the red zone. Empty backfield, back to throw. Under pressure, steps up, takes off running again, picks up the first down and ducks out of bounds. That quarterback is killing him on these scrambles. I disagree, Lou. About what? You mean you don't agree with everything I say all the time, no matter what? It's weird. 8 minutes to go now. First and goal for Cincinnati. On the 7-yard line. Play action, pass complete, out in the flat, stiff arm, down to the 1. Second and goal from the 1. All right, shotgun, pistol formation, 3 wide receivers. This seems like a draw. Yep, quarterback draw. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Somebody should hire me as a defensive coordinator. I called that shit. I called one play right once. I should be a defensive coordinator. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Can I stop cussing so much? You can stop listening so much. But you won't because you're a huge Uncle Lou fan. One minute, 11 seconds left in the UCF game. 3rd and 9. UCF has the ball at the Jack State 33. So probably a game-winning field goal attempt coming up for Central Florida. Am I watching the Kennesaw State versus Wake Forest game? What do you think? No. Is anyone watching that game? And if they are, why? I mean, Florida should be worried about everybody they play, but I don't think Florida's losing to South Florida. I don't do score predictions, but I did pick Clemson to win the game. I didn't bet the Oregon State game, but I do like Oregon State minus 2.5 over Cal. I might end up betting it, but I haven't bet it yet. Ernie, thank you for the super chat. He wants everybody to say their favorite cuss word. All right, now we need Nebraska to go down and score again. It's 20-17. Nebraska with a 3-point lead. We need them to score a touchdown. Nebraska's going to return this kick out across the 15. Tackled around the 17 or 18. 1st and 10, Nebraska with 7:09 to go. Are you excited to watch Bill Belichick this season? No, I probably won't watch very many North Carolina games. I mean, I'm watching the one on Monday because it's the only game on, but I don't think they're going to be very good. All right, empty backfield. Rayola in a shotgun. Back to throw. Pass complete. Dives forward for a gain of about 6 or 7. 2nd and short coming up now for Nebraska. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Six and a half was the spread. 6.5 or 7, depending on where you looked or when you looked. 2nd and 2. They're on their own 26. Bunch formation to the top. Rayola in a shotgun. Snap, back to throw again. Gets rid of it quick. Caught on an out route. Picks up the 1st down across the 35 to the 36. 1st and 10, Nebraska. Sir, USF, get off dope, sir? Huh? You want South Florida to get off dope? I doubt that's ever going to happen. I'm not even talking about the school. I'm just talking about South Florida geographically is likely to never get off dope. If you're talking about the Florida-South Florida game, I've said about 10 times I don't think South Florida's beating Florida. Long throw by Rayola, complete on an out route, gain of about 8, steps out of bounds. 2nd and 2. Five and a half minutes to go in the game. We need a touchdown. 3 wide to the top of the field. Shotgun for Rayola. Snap. Hands it off this time. Looking for room. Can't find much. Does get forward for a 1st down, though. Gain of about 3. 1st and 10, Nebraska. Nate B., thank you for the super chat, buddy. Good to see you in here. Gain of 8 is a long throw. Yeah, when you're all the way over on the right-hand side of the field and you throw it to the sideline on the other side of the field, do you have eyes? Or are you not watching the game? Do you think that every 8-yard gain is an 8-yard pass. He just threw that ball 50 yards across the length of the width of the field, dummy. The field is 53 yards wide. What's the matter with you? If you throw the ball from the right sideline to the left sideline, 8 yards downfield, that's a 60-yard throw. Boise State might not get a first down against Notre Dame. Well, I didn't think they had a chance to win that game before today. I definitely don't think they have a chance now. They look real bad. Second and 4 now for Nebraska. Raiola back to throw. Complete, short, and upended right away after a gain of 2. Third down coming up for Nebraska. 3:50 to go in the game. Boise State might get it together. They might, but boy, they look bad today. They look real bad today. Big third down here. 3rd and 2. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Nebraska holding on to a 3-point lead. It's not looking good on this Nebraska 6.5 bet. It's a good thing we hit that first half bet. They're going to hand it off, and they did pick up the first down to the Cincinnati 42. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the game now. Since he has 3 timeouts. Yeah, well, they're going to have to start using them soon. This Nebraska team looks like every Nebraska team for the past 10 years. Yeah. You took Nebraska too? Yeah. That last touchdown drive by Cincinnati was a killer. Toss sweep goes nowhere. In fact, they managed to lose 2 yards. 2nd and 12 now. And it looks like Cincinnati has taken a timeout. Stops the clock with 2.5 minutes to go. Have you noticed there hadn't been a lot of holding calls? Well, there hadn't been a lot of, it seems like there hadn't been a lot of penalties in general in this game. South Carolina finally got that running back cleared. Yeah, I read that today or yesterday. That's good news for them, obviously. I don't do score predictions, but I do have, I did pick Clemson to win that one. Second and 12, empty backfield now. Raiola in a shotgun. 2.5 minutes to go. Back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to be sacked. It's going to be 3rd and a mile now for Wisconsin. You know what? At this point, I want Nebraska to lose. I just want them to lose now. They're not going to cover the 6.5, so I want Cincinnati to hold them on this 3rd down, get the ball back, go down and score a game-winning touchdown and win the game. I'm Team Cincinnati from here on out. Fuck Nebraska. Yeah, we've lost this one. I guess there is a way if it goes to overtime, we could still hit the 6.5, but the odds of that are not good. Third and 19. I heard people say Nebraska could be 10-2 this year. They're going to have to get a lot better. They're going to have to get a lot better if they're going 10-2. 3rd and 19. Raiola back to throw. Good protection this time. Dumps it underneath to the running back for a gain of 5 for no reason, and they'll have to punt it away. Nebraska's going to punt it away. 2:16 left. Cincinnati's going to get the ball back with 1 timeout. No, they just used their last timeout. So they're not going to have any timeouts, Cincinnati. The clock will stop for the 2-minute warning. Last time Cincinnati had the ball, they went right down the field and scored. So maybe they can do it again and pull off the upset. Nebraska's going to embarrass the Big Ten. Dang. Orgy and Warren better than Raiola? Well, let's not get carried away. I mean, that's not true at all. I hate watching Nebraska now for not paying Lou. Well, we hit the first half bet, so we went 1-1. Here's the punt. Good punt, out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, so Cincinnati's going to have to go a long way. Of course, a field goal would tie it up. Orgy is the worst QB on the planet. He's bad. There's no doubt about it. He's real bad. He's real bad. All right, well, one more time. Here's the streaming schedule for the rest of the week. So screenshot it or whatever. All right, here we go. Cincinnati 1st and 10 on their own 9-yard line. A field goal would tie it up. 2:10 to go. Shotgun. 5 wide. Back to throw. Steps up, wants to run. There he goes. Gain of 8. That's going to take it to the 2-minute warning. Cincinnati QB has 35 passing yards. Yeah, he's been killing them with his legs. Yeah, another commercial break. What a shock. What a shock. What's the worst Georgia team you've seen besides last year? Oh, God, I don't know. The worst ever? What do you mean besides last year? Are you retarded? They won the SEC championship last year, you fucking moron. If Georgia was a bad team last year, then just know that that team is better than any Missouri team in history. What are you talking about? Are you okay? I'm worried about you. I'm serious. I'm concerned. Still a commercial break on the game. The Cincinnati stat line looks like Navy and Army. Yeah, they can't throw the ball, but that quarterback killing them with his legs, though. Shorthorns fans hate you, Lou? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Imagine calling a SEC champion not a great year. Yeah, imagine being a Missouri fan and saying that Georgia was bad last year. Oh, yeah, that shit with all the games being on a commercial break at the same time happens all the time. All right. 2 minutes left in the game. Cincinnati with the ball on their own 18. Back to throw. 2nd and 2. Pass complete. Big gain. Out across the 30 to the 32. First down, Cincinnati. They just doubled their passing yards numbers for the entire game there. Cincy's about to pull an upset. Play action. Throws incomplete. Receiver wasn't even looking. The receiver wasn't even looking. Second and 10. Pass complete, tackled short of the first down, so the clock's going to keep running. 1:39 and ticking. 3rd and 2. 1:30. They're on their own 39. Somebody moved. False start or what? Yep, false start on Cincinnati. Don't they run time off the clock for that too? Yeah, 10-second runoff on the clock too, so it goes from 126 to 116. 3rd and 7 now instead of 3rd and 2. 1:16 to go. They're on their own 34. 4 wide for Cincinnati. Sorsby in a shotgun. Snap. Throws. Incomplete. 4th and 7. Last chance here for Cincinnati. Ready for the Georgia Tech and Colorado game? Yeah. 2 good ones tomorrow. Georgia Tech, Colorado, and Auburn, Baylor. That should be 2 good games. All right, 4th and 7. I think Nebraska called a timeout now. Yeah, Nebraska called a timeout. Fourth and 7. A minute 9 to go. Last chance for Cincinnati here. Yeah, that false start was a killer for Cincinnati. About to have a heart attack. Thank you for the super chat. All right, here we go. 4th and 7. Back to throw. Caught. First down, Cincinnati. They're still alive. Cincinnati just won't give up. They just won't go away. All right, 1st and 10, Cincinnati on their own 46. Back to throw again. Quarterback draw this time. Close to a first down and gets out of bounds, which will stop the clock with 59 seconds to go. Nebraska might be in a bad way. Yeah, they might. Cincinnati's about 20 yards away from a game-tying field goal. Back to throw. Threw it to the middle of nowhere. I don't know what he was doing there. There was nobody there. Who was he throwing that to? Anyway, 3rd and 2 coming up, 54 seconds to go. Cincinnati is on the Wisconsin 46-yard line. They need about 10 or 12 yards to attempt a field goal. 3rd and 2. Snap. Quarterback draw. Ooh, big hit, but he picks up the first down. Stayed in bounds. Clock will stop while they set the chains. 1st and 10. 50 seconds to go. Career long is 54 yards for the Cincinnati field goal kicker. Back to throw. Incomplete. Pass interference, they're going to call this on Nebraska. Had his back turned. That's what you don't get your head turned around. They're going to call that shit there. That's going to be pass interference on Nebraska. That's going to give Cincinnati a first down and put them in field goal range. Yeah, that's the right call. $41 seconds to go now. 1st and 10. They're down 3. We're going to get a great ending here, whatever happens. They're on the 34-yard line, so they're already in field goal range with 41 seconds to go. Shotgun, back to throw again. Going deep, going for it all. Intercepted by Nebraska. Wow. I'm not sure why they tried that. I'm not sure why they tried that. They were having success with those short out routes along the sidelines, and they decided to go deep. Nebraska had a guy playing center field. He roamed over, jumped up, and picked it off right in the end zone. That's going to do it. Well, we got a great game at least. Great game. Nebraska's going to hang on and get the win, but boy, they got some work to do. Nebraska's got some work to do. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me watching the game tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow at 8. Yeah, tomorrow at 8 for Georgia Tech, Colorado, and Auburn versus Baylor. All right. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.